Hey, good evening. Good Thursday evening to you guys. How the heck are you? It's good to see you. Boy, what a day yesterday was, huh? First, we had that 1K drop, then we had an absolutely fantastic live stream with Kyle over talking about um, RuneQuest, and we're gonna hit RuneQuest again. We're gonna talk about the magic system, and if there's time, we're gonna talk about the setting and more good news, we are now on Subscribestar. That's right. If you want to support the show, but you don't want to support it on Patreon, and obviously we haven't got things like Super Chat turned on yet. You can hit us on Subscribestar. You absolutely can. Um, and I will put that right now. We'll see if that comes through too. Nope, it did not. That did not. All right, hang on a second. I entered it in the wrong place. Sorry about that. Now, there we go. So you can support us on Patreon or you can support us on Subscribestar if you want to. I appreciate everyone's input. Good evening, Dungeon Minister. It's good to see you. So, here's what's happening. Here's what's going on this Saturday. Well, first of all, tomorrow night we have first edition Gamma World to play. That's going to be a lot of fun. The Seekers draw ever closer to unearthing the evil that has taken control, that has seized the town of Goodwater and cut off supplies to Outpost 76. So we're going to find out what happened there. Hello, Winter Wolf. Greetings to you. Good to see you. And then Saturday, all day, 12-hour live stream extravaganza. We're going to have guests and we're going to have a world video premiere from Bards of Greyhawk. And if you don't know who Bards of Greyhawk are, they are the awesome guys that is just a fantastic couple of musicians. Let me tell you what. I literally can't say enough good about them. They do the music that begins the show. Friday Night Gamma World, yeah, Chris. Friday Night Gamma World is awesome. But anyway, yeah. So Rich Lopez and Jeremy, they're going to be here, and they're going to have a world premiere video on. We've got Ty Beard will be here. Alan Hammock may drop by. Darlene the artist may also swing by to say hello. Lots of friends are going to come in, and they're going to, we're just going to talk about the show. We're going to talk about fun stuff we've done, good times we've had over the last couple of years, and look forward to the next few years. And in case you're a little late to the party, in case you didn't make it here yesterday and you don't know what's going on, you're a little hazy on things. Yesterday, we went over 1,000 subscribers. We're now at 1,005 subs on the channel. Now, I got to be completely honest. I don't know. Like I want to welcome everybody who subscribed to the channel, and I want to thank everybody who subscribes to the channel, whether you support us on Patreon or Subscribestar, or you're just subbed to the channel. Welcome to everybody. But I do I want to give that thanks to everyone, because I appreciate everybody who subs to the channel, regardless of how you support the channel. I think you're awesome. I do this for you. And so in that in that regard, because I'm now over 1,000 subs, I get moved up just a little bit. I buoy up a little bit, a little closer to the surface, a little closer to daylight on what YouTube recommends to people, even in the somewhat niche realm of tabletop role-playing games. You know, their bot's going to look at replays of Critical Role and my live streams and go, nah, you know, Critical Role will get the promotion, right? And rightly so. Don't get me wrong. I might not be a big fan of Critical Role. I'm not. But I can appreciate their movers and shakers. But I get a little bit better of a shot of appearing on people's dashboards now that I have more than 1,000 subs. And so I might have more people subbing to the channel. I still want your subscriptions. I still want you to click the bell icon for notifications. I want all that stuff, all that goodness. But as the channel grows, I might not be able to say, guys, we're at 1,037. Yesterday we were 1,034. I just think it'll get a little, it's a little less landmarky, but it's not that I don't care about the people who make it happen. Quite to the contrary. Now, I'm putting this out there right now, speaking of subscriptions. If this channel ever hits 10,000 subs, if we ever get 10K subs on this channel, I will have a real gaming convention, an in-person, in-place gaming convention that you can come to and game at. I will do that. I will absolutely do that if we get 10,000 subs. Don't think it's ever going to happen. Hey-oh, Imperial Ramblings, good to see you. I think I'm on pretty safe ground. I don't think in a year or 2 years or 3 years or 5 years, I'm going to be going, oh shit, I got 10,000 subs on the channel. What do I do? Which is not, I'm not denigrating anyone's efforts out there. I'm just saying I'm pretty niche, right? Yeah, I mean, the odds are that there's 10,000 people out there, tenfold more than I have now, who are going to jump up and say, I want to subscribe to that channel. Really small. 1,000 strong army. That's right. 1,000 get. 1,000 get. So you know what? I'm going to take my 1,000 and whatever comes along next, and I'm going to be happy about it, because the great online underground gaming convention, or the great underground online gaming convention, is going to happen. The big bowl of guac is coming. So here's what I have to do. And Monday, I will catch you guys up on everything that's going on. This is Luther, you can't hear anything? How about now? Is that better? Can you guys hear me? Are there any sound problems? La la la. Because Yeah, OBS is hearing me just fine. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, you guys are like my investor group, whether you're subbed on Patreon or Subscribestar, it doesn't matter. Uh I'm good until I sing. All right, Chris, I'm just going to sing the rest of the episode. I am the very model of a modern dungeon master guy. Anyway, y'all are harsh. But so over this weekend, in addition to doing the anniversary show, I am going to go and I'm going to find like an online event subscription thing rather than you guys just like throwing emails and private messages at me saying, I want to run this, I want to run that. I'm actually going to get stuff set up so I can point people at and they can go and they can sign up for games that you run. Man, I went from 8 to 6 viewers. I probably shouldn't have sung. um there we are. They're coming back in. They've realized I'm not singing anymore. But yeah, I'm going to go to like an online sign up page where people can come in and say, you know, I want in this game in this time slot, um, and I want to run games. I want to have something set up so DMs can submit games and so players can sign up for those games. A game grid, basically, rather than people emailing me, just so people will know. Yeah, something like that, Paul. So, something exactly like that. So people will know. Game masters can go and they can look and they say, oh, look, well, Dungeon Minister is going to run some basic. Chris, Paul, Imperial Ramblings, and Damien, all go and they all sign up. And he can go, oh, okay, I got this many people in my game. I want to make it very, very easy for everyone who is interested in playing to be able to do that. And I'll find, because I've seen other cons like Gary Con, they have an online sign up thing and it's not even theirs. It's like you get taken to like blah blah events.garycon.com, but it's a third party service. And if I can set up something that's that simple and that turnkey and that easy to use, I'll do that, and then you guys will just be able to click it down there and input whatever games you want to run or you want to play. And before then, I will set up a Discord with, basically separate channels. Like, you'll go to the Guac Discord. I'll open up the Guac Discord. I'll put a link once it's open up. I'll have like a tech support, a general chat, probably an off topic, but then I'll have game rooms set up. So you'll be able to go in. Now, remind me to tell you about Band or Bond. Band. It's built for what I'm talking about. Fix the sound issue. Unfortunately, you can hear me. Yeah. It was working fine. He was muted. I will do that. So yes, just however I get it set up, I'll get it set up. Now we need to think about dates. I want to give ample time to people. I mean, yeah, it would be awesome to say this starts next weekend. We're doing it next weekend, because you guys need a little bit of lead time on it. And I'm sure there's people who are really interested in the con and they maybe haven't even been on the stream yet since we crossed 1,000. I almost wish that I had like just a massive email list I could just shotgun blast and put out there. but I'm going to give the news some time to percolate. I'm thinking I am thinking like the first weekend in May. Is that I'm just taking the temperature right now. So that would be the first full weekend would be like the 6th, 7th, and 8th of May. And I don't even know that we need all that time. It might just be like the Friday and the Saturday. So I'm just taking people's temperature here orally. Okay, orally. You guys tell me, just you folks in the crowd here right now, is that good? Is that bad? Am I overlooking something? Like, is the 6th and 7th of May like some holiday that I'm forgetting about or something like that? Like, 9/10 of America is going to be gathered around the maypole or something like that. Um, or the Western world for our Canuckistanian padre there. So, if that's not going to work, we can move around. Don't rush out and say Bill said the first weekend of May and that's when it's going to happen, because we got plenty of time, guys, to sort this out. I want to do uh I want to do what works for you guys. All right? That's how this works. The Great Underground Online Gaming Convention, the GWOC, that's for y'all. That's for you guys. I'm not doing this like, if I wanted to do some big ego boosting convention, I'd mortgage the farm and rent out like a giant luxury hotel space, and invite a bunch of movie stars that might in some ancillary way have some knowledge of role playing games, and do it like that. This is just a very chill online event that maybe someday, I don't think it will, but maybe someday could happen in real life. Yeah, I know about July 27th, but damn, that's a long way off. That is a long way off. I mean, I don't think people really want to wait that long. I know I don't. Like, I want to give it, I want to give plenty of time to plan. Not that there's not a lot, not that there's a huge amount of planning for me to do. Um, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll sort it out. So it's official that it's happening now. It's official that it's happening. It's going to happen this spring. Um, so you can't escape it. Don't even try. You're already dead. Oh, sorry, skip that last piece. Um, so yeah, that's the news. That's what's happening. 1,005 subs. Now, if I lose, you know, the question may come: what if you lose 15 subs? What if you do something or say something that's so horribly offensive that like just 30 people unsubscribe from you? Just bam, you know. Um, is that going to negate the con? Well, if something that bad happened, I would probably have to rethink, and it would probably start a slow bleed that would make the virtual con kind of awkward anyway. But if like 6 people unsubbed it and knocked us down to 9.99, no, we've gone over that amount. So I'm not gonna no takesies backsies, guys. Barring something that just would completely just make the idea of a con pointless. Like, I lose 700 subs. Like, everybody that's subscribed since I started dual streaming to YouTube just goes away, which again is like 500, 600 people, maybe 700. But if something like that happened again, it would have to be, it would just have to be ridiculous. Like, my live stream is just, 2 hours of me torturing small animals or something. But that's never going to happen. So, but potentially 4 or 5 people could wander off, get distracted by something shiny, and we slip down to $9.99. But even if that happened, I wouldn't say, oh, no, it's below 1,000. I said 1,000. We're not doing it, because we reached 1,000. We reached it. And I don't think, again, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think anything untoward or negative is going to happen. I think we're just going to keep on trucking and keep on keeping on. I mean, I certainly don't foresee anything but growth moving forward. How underground is this convention, you asked? The badge levels range from Chud to Morlock. And we got some troglodytes in there too. So anyway, I'm pretty happy about this. I'm really stoked. I hope you guys are too, because this is what I set out to do. This is the goal I set for myself, and I'm there now. The primary goal of this was not YouTube monetization. If it happens, it happens. If it happens, that's an awesome thing. If it doesn't, it doesn't. I can't control what they do or what they do not. I mean, if I go over to the studio and I click on monetization, get reviewed is in progress. And we'll mail you a decision usually within a month. So I don't even know. Name of this convention? Why, it's the Guac. Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. That's what it is. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm definitely looking forward to it. Got a little busy earlier today. I did finish up. I put the finishing touches. Let's be very clear on something. I did not polish up. I put the finishing touches on the second video for patrons, which is going out tonight after the stream. Luther, what? You've been here all along. You didn't know it was called the Guac? You honestly didn't know this was called the Guac, the Great Underground Online Gaming Convention. So, yeah, I was putting the finishing touches on the next patron video, which all the videos are late. Okay. So there's 2 videos coming out this week. There's 2 videos coming out next week. And there's 2 videos coming out the week after that to catch up with everything that I said I would do for levels of Patreons. In the interim, I'm also writing 2 short mini D&D adventure modules. Troglocon. I may change the name someday, maybe. But anyway, so I was doing Patreon stuff today, patron stuff. Subscribe. You know what? I'm just going to call it subscriber stuff, because there are people who subscribe and that sort of thing. So I was doing that. I have ideas for a logo. Imperial Ramblings. I do have ideas for a logo. But yeah, I was doing stuff for patrons. So if you are a patron or you're jumping over on Subscribestar, it is happening. I'm taking care of it. I let it get by. I had kind of a hectic January and February. In my defense, those of you who followed the Zeus saga, he's fine, by the way, fat and happy. So I'm getting caught up on that. And once I'm caught up on that, I won't get behind again. You won't have to wait 3 months and then everything just comes in this huge ball of stuff. So if you are a patron at the Master Thief or Prefect level, the video's up on Patreon. And if you're coming in, if you're going to join on Subscribestar, I will upload it over there too. Fear not. It will happen. And I just want to take a minute, real quick, to welcome Carnivore Farmer is our first Subscribestar member. Thank you, Carnivore Farmer, for joining us. It is greatly appreciated. Quick save F5. I'm a fan of guac. Makes me think of Fallout. Like the Gek. I could do that. I've got some guac in the fridge now. I'm just hungry for it. It's these Del Monte guacamole little single serving containers. I'll tell you what, though. My sister-in-law, Galadriel. Yes, my sister-in-law's name is Galadriel. My wife's name is Erwin. But my sister-in-law actually makes some fantastic guacamole. I don't like jalapenos in my, like, I like jalapenos on the stuff I'm eating, but I don't like to mix it in with a guacamole. I like guacamole to have its own smooth, mellow vibe going. You know, I think I'm going to have some 7-layer dip out here. I'm going to make myself some 7-layer dip, just so I can snack on it all day on Saturday. Hello, Mobius. Good to see you. It is most nice to see you. But anyway, I'm sorry. I'm letting myself get distracted. Earlier today, the idea was put forth to call a gathering of grognards a convention or a gygax of grognards. I like either, but there needs to be a poll. I like the idea of calling a group of gamers a gygax. I like that a lot. A gygax. Look at that gygax over there. And there's 8 or 10 people playing AD&D over there. Yes, no, I won't tolerate it being called a Thaco of grognards. I will make Molotov cocktails. I will manufacture pipe guns. I will prepare boards with nails through them if anyone tries to call it a Thaco of grognards. Hello, Vincent. Good to see you. I do want to mention one thing about this Saturday, though, before I forget. I have stated this before, and I'm going to state it again. A grumble of grognards. Now you're talking, Paul. I heard the con was a bunch of guac. That is awesome, and I can't wait to see it. So anyway, oh yeah. So Saturday, 12 hours of me talking, unless you're coming in on Facebook. Facebook will not let me stagger the start time. I cannot go in and alter the start time for the Facebook show. The Facebook show will stop at the 8-hour mark. It'll just beep. It'll just be off. If you start watching on Facebook, be aware you will have to switch over to YouTube. Now, some people have asked me if I'm going to do Rumble. Not until after the anniversary. But if you start watching on if you start watching on Facebook, you gotta come here. And I'll mention this and I'll put the link. It's not private, it's not secret. But if you want to comment, you'll have to, you'll have to, even if you just set up a throwaway, just a one-time use only, just so you can say hi. How about getting 1,000 subs in it? Hey, that was awesome, Vinny. That was just fantastic. And I said yesterday, I don't want to belabor the point. There's other stuff I want to talk about. I figured 5 subs to go, as we were like 995 or 996, maybe even 997 yesterday afternoon. I figured with a small number of subs to go, it might go over on Saturday because, I would have a lot of guests on. I would be on for 12 hours. I would be, I would be playing the Gygax interview. I figured, okay, Saturday, I'll probably roll over. I went to the store and I came back and Discord is blowing up and I'm getting notifications from people. And I was just like, wow. You were stoked. I was stoked. I wish all those, like the last 4 or 5 people, like I knew who they were. Well, I mean, I can go on YouTube and I can look at it. I'm not going to do it right now, as it takes some digging. But whoever you are, thank you. Thank you to whether you're the first person who subscribed to my YouTube channel, or you're the 1,000th person, or down the road you're the 10,000th person, is never going to happen. But the 100,000th person, hypothetically, I thank you regardless of where you're at in line. Greetings, Jehovah. Michael Connor on Bread Ed, playing some Sabaton. That's what I'm talking about. A band that makes up heavy metal songs about storming the beaches of Normandy. I'm all right with that. You just now notice I hung my Grenadier Adult Dragon on the wall. That's the box. That's only the box. And what it is I have stuck to the wall a couple of rare earth magnets that I bought in a pack. And then inside the box, there are a couple of washers that I just held up on the inside of the box and then stuck to the wall, and then I just slipped the cover on. So it's not glued or tacked or otherwise up there in some uncomfortable way. Luther, I can try and find out. I'll let you know if I can remember. Unbreaded playing some Sabaton. The Codex Gygax would have a large chapter dedicated to pole arms and pole-based tactics. Well, you're about 36 years too late, because Unearthed Arcana has that. There's a whole chapter on pole arms in Unearthed Arcana, which is from one of the very first issues of The Dragon. Before it was called Dragon, it was just The Dragon. And Gary wrote an article on the nomenclature of pole arms. I see what you did there, Mobius. Be seeing you. But so yeah, going back to what I was saying about YouTube, 8 hours, Facebook cuts off. You got to switch over to YouTube if you want to be here for the last 4 hours. That's just how it is. I don't control that. I don't. I wish I did. I don't. Yeah, when I first played some Black Sabbath and Ozzy and Iron Maiden for my youngest, they Rosie was very, very into it. Although she likes Ozzy's sludgier solo stuff. So like Mr. Crowley is her jam, to the point that when she was 5 years old, and I was taking her to school one morning, I was taking her to pre-K, had to ask her to not sing Mr. Crowley because the pre-K was at our church. Didn't want her walking in singing about old Alistair. That Grenadier Dragon mini is awesome. I love it to pieces. I really do. This Saturday feels much like it did when you anticipated Saturday morning cartoons. Oh, that's nice. Thank you. Years ago, there was this guy who, I mean, I thought this was just the neatest thing in the world. He restored a cabinet, like an old Zenith cabinet TV set, and set up a PVR in his house to pipe video out analog, and put together, like, for 4 hours, like he he did YouTube videos about his resto of the TV. And I tell you what, restoring old TVs, I mean, that is not for the faint of heart. You touch the wrong thing and you will be faint of heart. But he got this thing working again, and he talked about like his love of watching Saturday morning cartoons in the 70s. Definitely a Gen X guy. And he yeah, it's probably better than singing Don't Fear the Reaper, Michael. But once he got that done, he did this crazy thing where he was streaming cartoons from a PVR. He like set up a broadcast schedule and would reach up sometimes and turn the knob to go to the appropriate station, and made these faux TV guide pages you could download as a PDF, and then did like a 5-hour live stream one Saturday morning watching Saturday morning cartoons. It was really kind of cool. I think you can find it on YouTube, or if you Google around, you can find the guy. But it was really really neat. It's my kind of jam. Speaking of things that are my kind of jam, I rarely just jump out and say, it's like, if my audience comes to me and says, "Hey, uh, we think there's this guy that you might like to interview," and I don't put this on anyone; it's entirely his fault. But the Servant of Shiloh guy, the RPG Elite guy, when folks come to me and they're like, we think, this would make good interview or good discussion fodder, I do my best to incorporate that in. I don't come and say, you know, I really want to get a hold of this person and have them on the show. There's a guy I really want to get a hold of and have on the show. And last night on Jayashiro Finney's live stream, I'll pull this up here. They had who was it? What was the gentleman's name? He was on last night. Skylar Hernstrom. And this guy is, wow. I mean, what a, he is like a heavy metal renaissance man. I don't mean a heavy metal renaissance man in that, like, well, he plays classical metal and speed and thrash and death metal. And I mean, he has lived a life. Okay. Go watch the live stream replay. But the important part to us, is he was talking and he's going on about his love of classical fantasy. And I asked a question early on. I said, "Do you like Fritz Leiber, Fafhrd and Grey Mouser series?" They asked him that, and he was like, "Yes, I'm all about that." And he talked about reading Conan and Edgar Rice Burroughs and so on when he was growing up. And I thought, hey, this sounds pretty cool. This sounds really cool. And so I asked towards the end of the video. I said, how often do you game? And when you do, how much first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons do you play? It was completely tongue in cheek. I figured the guy would be like, yeah, I play some D&D and blah, blah, blah. Brothers and sisters, Skylar Hellstrom jumped feet first into the deep end of my swimming pool, fully clothed, and waded out and said, I only play first edition advanced Dungeons and Dragons. The new stuff doesn't do anything for me. I like a hard game with a DM who is set out to challenge the players. He was speaking my language. I gotta have this guy on the show. Now, he's an author. He's written books. He's written fantasy books and science fiction and cyberpunk. And I certainly want to talk to him about that. But I want to talk to the guy about gaming. Even if he doesn't want to come on the show, I got to get this guy at my gaming table. So check it out. I'm ranting and raving about this guy. Y'all are over here talking about Saturday morning cartoons. I love it. Oh, I love it. I'm going to get back in on this. The loss of anticipation is one of the massive drawbacks. It is, isn't it? I mean, hands up. Who remembers arguably one of the landmark TV episodes of a show in the 80s, parts 1 and 2 of Did You See the Sunrise This Morning on Magnum PI? Bo Svensson played the Russian no, he's NKVD. He was military intelligence, military police, who tortured Magnum and the rest of his A team when they got captured by the Vietnamese. Not the A team, you know, B.A. Baracus and all that. The military term, the A team. Yeah, I'm still here, Luther. I'm still talking. Look, just everybody has streaming. Go watch Did You See the Sunrise parts 1 and parts 2. When part 1 ended, dudes, that was like, oh my God, what's going to happen next? And now it's like, oh, part 1's over, click part 2. And that's it. And you just move on. An episode a week is not necessarily a bad thing. It really isn't. Cliffhangers, 2-parters. Now it's just let Netflix play. Yeah, it's like, yeah, I'm going to take a day off tomorrow and just watch the whole thing. Now, there's some stuff I can appreciate, like, case in point. Believe it or not, and this may just like blow your minds, but I was Johnny come lately on the subject of Stranger Things. It was my buddy Rusty who said, you know, you got to watch Stranger Things. Okay, fine. I'll go and I'll watch. And we watched like the first 3 episodes of Stranger Things. It took us from like 7 in the evening till 11 at night. And there's 4 more eps in the first season or something. And I'm like, wife's out of town, dude, right? And he's like, yeah. I'm like, fuck it, I'm here. I'm here for it. She's like, all right. So, you know, I come trundling home at like close to 5 in the morning and I've seen all of Stranger Things. I like and appreciate the ability to binge. But if a streaming service said, no, you get this episode on this day, you get the next episode next week, the next episode, there's a lot of ways I think it would be better. Nuns don't work on Sunday. Yes. Who shot JR? So long, thank you, and God bless on MASH. That was a 2-parter. Although it was a 2-parter, and or was it a 3-parter? I don't remember. But I mean, how many I almost said cliffside, how many cliffhanger episodes of Miami Vice when Sonny lost his mind and thought he was the undercover, or thought he was the drug dealer, you know? Wargaming and AD&D. Oh, that's cool. That was your 83. But I am glad that I'm able to bring that anticipation. Yeah, you can go back and watch old episodes of the show. But I'm not going to sit here and record, you know, just like sit here for 26 hours nonstop and give you guys 13 episodes of a live stream for me to binge. Katie, we are chatting with the guy to the left, keeps talking about. An A-team Magnum team up. Oh man, I don't know. I'm on a lot of people's television. Hey, Katie. Haven't seen you in forever. Greetings, Katie. Now, Katie's I'm going to dox you. Look out. Katie's actually in my neck of the woods. So when I run Games Day at Gods and Monsters in June, yeah, June 11th, Katie's going to sit down and play some D&D and some Tales from the Loop. Right on, right, Katie? I hope so. Now that I've doxed you. But that's going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a fun event. I'll be at that event. Um, Now, if I'm in Australia, of course, when Kyle watches me, he's got to turn his monitor over so I'm the right side up. Oh, you have your own kid made. Excellent. No, that's not what she means. Your mind's out of the gutter. A player character in Tales from the Loop is called a kid. Michael's in state. It's a bit of a drive. I know Doomsword is in state, but it would be a haul for Doomsword to get here too. He's like over on the coast. And I get it that there's a bunch of people who think, well, Florida is all coastline, isn't it? No, it's not. I mean, I'm just like in the burbs where I am. Do you go to the beach every day? Do you go to Disney every weekend? No and no. We don't go to missile launches. We don't go to the beach every day. We don't go to Disney every day. Largo, ooh, yeah, you'd have a. I would appreciate seeing you. Like if a fan of the show shows up at an event that I'm at, I am absolutely appreciative of it. If a fan of the show as far away as Largo, Florida, which is all the way in the south, almost the southernmost reaches of the state, showed up just to come and meet me, I'd be like, whoa. Speaking of events, and this is not till the end of summer, you don't have to worry about it. Not now, definitely not good. No. Is Florida Bama land? Yeah, I mean, there's like a whole town, a whole like suburb up there that crosses the state line. And a lot of folks that live up there refer to it as Floribama because Florida comes up and it meets the Mobile region of Alabama. Florida extends its power further west, by the way, further than anyone ever knows, or anyone does know. In Mississippi, they refer to kind of the toe of the boot. If you think, not Mississippi, woo, gotta never make that mistake in front of people from either state. In Louisiana, sort of the toe of the boot. This is the one state in the country that doesn't have counties; they have parishes, but they call those easternmost parishes that are closest to Mississippi and Alabama the Florida parishes. Whoa, Black Betty was from Bamaland. But anyway, no, there's a lot of cool stuff in the state, but I will be doing a cool thing at the end of the summer. June, no, August 20th. I almost said July 20th. August 20th, I will be at WonderCon, is it? No. Hang on a second. I've done it again. I'm having a senior moment. At QuestCon. I will be at QuestCon. You'd think I could remember that. I could just go Conquest. That's the thing that happened. I will be at QuestCon. I will be at QuestCon on August 20th, which is a gaming convention. I was surprised that it's just a gaming convention. That it's like everything, they just cram everything together now. You go to a gaming con and there's cosplay stuff. You go to a comic book convention and it's all about movies. Like I remember when Comic-Con was getting really bloated and top heavy before the pandemic, I would say the bubble actually probably burst in 2019. So from 2018 on back to like maybe 2014, 2015, it was building up and there were shows that just they had fandoms, but it had fuck all to do with superheroes or fantasy or science fiction, which is what I think of when I think of Comic-Con. I think of Marvel and DC and Star Wars and Battlestar Galactica and Star Trek and Terminator and Conan and Red Sonja and all that. I don't think of CSI Miami. I don't think of Breaking Bad. Which Breaking Bad is a fantastic show. But I don't think of, I don't think of it that way. Uh, will Conquest be aired on YouTube? I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. Um, I I don't know if they'll have a YouTube stream of it up or not. I won't, like, my little talk thing, I don't think will be on YouTube. Uh, because that's what it is. Basically, it's a panel of one. I'm going to go do something like this, but in front of an audience where I just kind of tell them who I am and what I've done, and then I'll just take a bunch of questions and answer and do my best, and I'll do that for like an hour and 15 minutes, and then I'm going to go hang out with Tracy Lesh at his artist booth, because he'll be there too, signing prints and so on and etc. So that will be on the 20th, and you know, that's what I'm going to do. Dragon Con, never been to Dragon Con. I could still stream it. I suppose so. I mean, I don't know. I'll talk to people about it. I'll talk to their people about it. But yeah, that's the future. The immediate future is that Katie, I do AFO. I've never been to MegaCon. No, I take that back. I've been to MegaCon one. I have kind of a sweet story about MegaCon. Years ago, I knew a fellow who turned out not to be a very nice person, but you're going to run into assholes in your life from time to time. But at the time, we were on friendly terms, and he got myself and my wife passes into MegaCon, and we went to MegaCon, and I saw him and hung around, and I saw an artist friend of mine. There's a MegaCon Orlando. What is AFO, Katie? I do AFO. I don't. Anyway, I went to MegaCon, and my daughter, she's now my oldest. She was 4 at the time, and she was kind of going through a tough time. I mean, toddlers, and it wasn't, she wasn't acting bad. It was just stuff would upset her and make her cry, kind of be easy. It was the tough 3s/4s. And I remember 3 things about that convention, other than seeing my artist friend and getting let in by someone who Anime Festival Orlando. MegaCon. Yes, I think MegaCon is the leader of the Decepticons. But we had played the first Superman movie for my daughter, and she liked it. That's probably why she's locked into superhero movies now, even as an adult. But we played the first Superman movie for her, and we liked it. And Margot Kidder, God rest her soul, was there. We went, and Ms. Kidder was at her table. Now, there was a long space. There was a very deep space between the little velvet rope and where she was, but she nobody was in line at that time, and there was not none of the other stars were there. So it wasn't like, you know, oh, here's this guy who was in Star Wars and this guy who's in Star Trek and this guy who's on Batman, and they're 200 people waiting to see them and she's by herself. It wasn't some pathetic scene. They were all out to lunch, literally, figuratively. And there sat Margot Kidder reading a paperback book. And I asked my daughter, I said, hey, that's the lady that plays Lois Lane in Superman, in the Superman movie. Like, do you want to go see her? And poor kid, she turned beet red and went, and just like buried herself on me. It was kind of sweet. But she was, her cup was coming up to the brim at that point. Not Margot Kidder's, my daughter's. And another thing that I remember about that was it was a lean time. It was a lean time, and I'm not proud of this fact. It just is what it is. You go through ups and down times. As we're walking along, I look down. Now, valued guests, I promise you, I did not see this drop, but I glanced down at the floor, and I'm literally standing on a folded up $20 bill. I pick it up, I look around, nobody is madly scrambling, digging in their pockets, looking for their money. I waited a few minutes till my daughter was about ready to burst. We pass a guy selling anime stuff, and he had some plush doll from Naruto, but the way the doll was made, had big giant head, little tiny body. It looked like one of the Powerpuff Girls. And I had, I had it, and we're walking by, and I looked at my daughter and I said, "Do you want a doll? Would you like a dolly?" And she nodded, and I said, "How about a Powerpuff Girl?" And she nodded, and I handed the guy the money, got the change back, got her the doll. We got it like a Wendy's Frosty on the way home, so she got ice cream. So it made her whole day better. Luther Calhoun, how old is she now? She's 19 now. So that would have been 15 years ago. I remember mine at 3 and 4. She's killing this Bama found now. She's starting Auburn. You just disown her. What is this, a question? Just, you're done with her. You're done with her. I mean, what? Is this like a trick question? Is this like a joke? I mean, I would have thought you would have done it already. No, dude. Look. I would love it if my kids were like, yeah, roll tide. We want to go to the University of Alabama, but it doesn't offer what either one of them wants to do with college. So, I mean, I didn't even go. I'm a sidewalk fan. My old man attended like a satellite school of theirs in Gadsden, Alabama. That's as close as I get. So I get it. I get it. Oh, I'm glad you like the story, Dad. But yeah, it was, for a 4-year-old who's going through the too tired toddler time, a convention that's like, thousands of people crammed into a space. She has since warmed up to the con scene, current events notwithstanding. Uh, so Tampa is like 75 miles one way from where I live, and I live on like the east side of the Orlando Metroplex. So I got to like driving out of town. I have to drive out of town to get to the point where I can drive out of town if I'm going west. Because an hour drive out of Orlando, you're still in Orlando. It's like another hour before you're out of Orlando. So one year we day tripped 3 days, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. We day tripped to Comic-Con Tampa. So I did 450 miles driving in 3 days. That no, not doing it. I will day trip one day, or I will go and stay. Oh no, Luther, I'm sorry. No, I apologize if you I am from that area. I live in Florida now. This I am in the land of Gators and Seminoles. But I do see a lot of Bama flair around here. It's kind of nice. Vinny's not really a college football fan, but it seems all my close family and friends are. The bug never got me. I think it's because I soaked my arms in anti-football aloe. Well, yeah, I think so. Tampa, the west coast of the east coast. Um, I have some interesting memories of the Tampa area. My wife is my wife is originally from Ireland. Well, no, no, she's Florida native. That's right. She was born in Florida. They moved to Ireland for a while. Then they came back to the States and lived in was it Rhode Island or New Hampshire? One of the little tiny states. It's like smaller than the county I live in, and then back down to Florida, or briefly in Mississippi, then to Florida in a in the Clearwater area, and then over to Orlando where I met her. I'm about to launch into Johnny Cash's "I've Been Everywhere" because I know how much you guys want to hear me sing, right? Luther Calhoun, you want to hear me sing? Her accent. No, let me tell you what. This is role playing game related. Dungeon Minister. My wife has an ear for accents, and her voice will polymorph if you sit down and put my wife amongst a group of people with a given accent. She will start talking in it, not to mock them. It's just what she does. Singing reveal at 5K subs. I like that. I might do that. Um, yeah. People start downvoting me, flagging my stream on YouTube. Stop him. So I love telling this story because it gets to start off with one of the funniest and funnest things ever. There I was playing Dungeons and Dragons with Gary Gygax, and my wife was there with us. Well, we encountered, and I don't know, if it was goblins or something of Gary's creation in a cave, and they were deathly afraid of, I think it's like some fungus monster in a cavern, and rather than attacking us, they wanted to help us and tell us where it was so we could kill it. And I sing and the subs drop to the single. Yeah. And I think Gary wanted to goad us into attacking them and kind of get, sting us, to just give us a little bit of a titty twister for assuming that the goblins would just be evil. And so he puts on this funny voice and says, "You no go there. Stay away. We'll help you." It was really mangled. He's "Don't go there. Stay away. We'll help you." My wife has an ear for picking out words and that sort of thing. And she goes, "I think he said, 'Don't go there. It's dangerous. We'll help you.'" So Gary's sitting there and he's got his ever present clipboard, Greyhawk notes or whatever it was. And I'm going to have to work on that accent. I'm pretty sure he was quite amused that Colleen was able to pick it out. And it was just she's like, "It's just something I can do. I could just, like, she can hear patois or somebody's pidgin English and just pick stuff out of it." And it was just so much fun because that was like the big stumbling block he was going to throw. And Colleen was just able to just pick it right out. It was a great moment. Yoda after too many drinks. Yep. It was, but it was good fun. So that is what living in all of those places was able to kind of do for her, Dungeon Minister. It actually gave her a universal translator. Now for myself, I mean, you guys hear me. I don't I don't have much in the way of an accent. I don't know what I sound like. I listen to recordings of myself and I just think it sounds bad and I don't like to listen to it. Um, in the actual real sonic sense, I don't like the sound of my own voice. You guys can make your own judgments about my ego, but I don't like hearing the sound of my own voice. I just don't enjoy it. But I remember one year going up to Alabama, was actually for for the funeral of a cousin of mine. This has been, oh Lord, 35, 40 years ago. No, it wasn't. That's probably like 35 years ago, 36 years ago. I was a teenager at the time. And you know, there's a big gathering of friends and family at the house, and of course the somber moments had come and gone, and it was still going to be, it was still very rough on the family. But I was sitting out on the back porch with a bunch of my deceased cousins' friends, and the conversation was actually just fairly light, and I was just chit chatting with them, and I made a comment to the effect about being back home. At that point, it would have been 6 or 7 years since we left Alabama, as I was a junior in high school or something. And this fellow, a friend of my cousin, says, "You're from here?" And I said, "Well, yeah. Yeah, it's born in Georgia, but raised in Alabama." "Where did you think I was from?" And he said, "You talk so quick, man. I thought you was like from New York or something." So living in a fairly polyglot neighborhood, and then uh, later I worked at a mall that was right on the main artery of tourists going to and from Orlando. Any accent that I have in my voice was hammered flat. completely flat. Now, if I am tired, frustrated, irritated, whatever, the Alabama accent will start to come back out. I worked on that damn backyard all damn day. And the lawnmower threw its damn belt again. And I was sitting around with my deceased cousin's friends, Luther. But yeah, so that was just over the years. It just any accent was just completely hammered flat. And I sound like this. Again, I don't know what I sound like. I don't, if someone listened to my voice and said, you sound like, I would have to take their word for it because I have no idea. Lack of accent is very Florida transplant. It is. It very much is. We come down here and, I work with a guy from Puerto Rico. I work with a guy from New York, often the same person. And true Florida Southern natives and people from the Midwest and so on. And it just hammers out any and all trace of accent. So that's just a thing. That's a thing you know about me now. So something else you need to know about me is tomorrow, unless you guys have any questions for me, tomorrow I will be in Gamma World. We will be playing Gamma World with the group on Friday evening at 9:30. There'll probably be a little bit of preamble before then, and I'll talk some more about Saturday. And then Saturday, tune in. I'll be here. You should be here too. Now, I know most people, like when I don't have stuff to show off, most people just listen. I don't really have an accent, which is nice. You've tried to remove yours. But I know some people do actually watch, and they watch me bob around and pick my teeth and scratch my head and noodle around on the computer and look at minis when I should be paying attention to the camera. But for the people who like the visual edge, seeing the bunker, the control room, call it whatever you want, behind me, someone once said that it looked like I was broadcasting from inside a nuclear missile silo, which I took as a compliment. But Saturday, I can't rely on my DSLR external battery pack to last all 12 hours. In fact, I rather don't think it will. So my primary camera will be a little webcam over here. I'll make sure it's working well before I start. Don't worry. And the same holds true with my studio lights. So we're going to be webcam and ceiling light. I apologize if it looks like I have jaundice and that you're watching me through a security camera. Knowing that StreamYard StreamYard literally cripples that camera. That camera is wasted on this. Means that I don't, you won't be missing much visually. So, we'll make it work the best way we can. Vincent says Saturday, set the reminder on YouTube, but remind us what time does it start? 12 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That'll give me time to walk the dog, stretch my legs, get some dinner, all sorts of fun things. Or some lunch, rather. Oh, Saturday. Yeah, the anniversary show, second anniversary. We're going to have guests. We're going to have a couple of streamers that I know are going to be here. We're going to have Bards of Greyhawk are going to be here. Bards of Greyhawk are world premiering another video here on the channel. I hope Alan Hammett can make it. I hope Darlene the artist can make it. Tracy Lesh will be here. Ty Beard will be in the house, a most unbreaded fellow. I will be here. And well, I may invite some other people, but I think the big thing that a lot of people are going to want to be here for at 11 o'clock Eastern, I will play the interview that I did with Gary Gygax back in 2002. I'm sorry, is it 2002 or is it 2003? It's 2002. I remember now. It's 2002. So I will play that. Yeah, the snowbirds are leaving or will be gone soon. But I will play that audio, during which time I will probably collapse and lie down on the floor. I'll tell you this about Florida and snowbirds. In the spring, I think it was the second time the wife and I went to Lake Geneva Gaming Convention. In Lake Geneva, I saw so many Florida license plates. So many Florida license plates. I was shocked by how many Florida license plates I saw. I was like, ooh, I wonder if he's from Orlando. I wonder if he's from Winter Park. I wonder if he's from further south. Because it was beautiful in Lake Geneva. We went swimming in the hotel pool. It was like 82 degrees and 0% humidity. But anyway, I'm going to wrap up there, guys. I've been babbling on and just kind of swerving and hitting parked cars for a while now. But anyhow, so tune in tomorrow if you want to see some Gamma World and you want to know a little bit more about what's going on Saturday, and tune in Saturday for Saturday. So you guys have an absolutely stellar evening. It was wonderful to see you, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Don't worry. I'll be back tomorrow. I'll be back Saturday. Y'all have an absolutely wonderful one. Peace out, everybody. Oh, wait, no, before I go, I gotta crap, I almost forgot. I was getting ready to jet. Wait a second. I want to thank all the show's contributors. Digital Discord, Joshua Garlock, Lord Corion, Ricky Maru, Mobius, Kevin Reynolds, Doomsword Deathmaster, Mark Simpson, Damien247, James F. Keck, William Smith, The Dungeon Minister, Manny Wall, Mark Corey, Kevin Wood, Todd Sharp, and our latest subscriber, Carnivore Farmer. So thank you all. You make it awesome. Have a wonderful evening, and I'll catch you guys later.